How's it going, Planet Destiny? Dukin is here with a video focused on movement. A top player's gun skill is often not the reason they're better than me, or you, or anyone. It's because of other factors. The biggest of those factors, as far as I can see, is how they've mastered their movement. Around the time of my game against Pow Pow, I felt like I was hitting a ceiling with my improvement. Playing Pow Pow opened my eyes, and I've taken steps to developing my movement since then. I can honestly tell you guys I'm a much better player since that game because I've been working on the right things. The goal of this video is to convince you guys that practicing things other than aiming and thumb skill are often more important to make you an overall better player. And I think one of the most appealing parts of Destiny is its fast pace and how fluently your character can move. So it doesn't really make sense to play a boots on the ground style, which I now understand. Pow Pow showed me how well he uses his own vertical space in these clips against me, where he slides under my crosshairs in one challenge and jumps over them in another. Since then, I've been doing this in every single challenge, as you probably noticed in the clips I've shown. I've been calling it the unpredictable aggressor playstyle. What that means is, when I turn a corner to engage someone, I never run through. I jump through, like you're seeing in this clip, or I slide through, as you're about to see. In a lot of situations, my opponent will fire their shot first, but it won't kill me or even hit me because my body's in a different place than they were anticipating. You don't know how the challenge is going to play out for certain, you just know that doing something unexpected will usually work out better for you than being predictable. Speaking of predictability, don't always jump into a challenge and don't always slide into a challenge where your opponents are going to catch on. If you always jump, your opponents will just pre-aim or expect you higher, so make sure you're switching it up. I know my opponent is on the other side of this wall, so, just like I mentioned, I elevate myself as I engage. If I pause it again, you can see this guy has no idea where I am. Next example is one where I'm being chased. I'm anticipating this player to come through the door behind me based on my radar. I make it look like I'm evading left, but as soon as I leave my opponent's line of sight, I reverse jump over top of the doorway and anticipate them coming through. Just before we move on, I know that Bungie is planning on nerfing the in-air accuracy of shotguns in the next patch, which theoretically would make jumping to shoot less viable. However, after they mentioned that change, the player on stream went on to jump shot 3 out of 4 guys from a pretty decent range. So I still think it'll be effective, even if it's not as effective. Even when you're not in a duel, your movement can help you. You never know what doorway a sniper is hard scoping because they're usually off your radar, and you never know if 2 players are getting ready to team shot an opening. So by sliding through or jumping through, you're making it more difficult to hit you. The idea is to limit your vulnerability as much as possible, and when you can, prioritize covering your head. Let's look at Pantheon. This is one of the most common sniper lanes in Destiny. Any decent sniper hard scoping this lane knows to put their reticle right here, which is head level. Regardless of whether or not you think someone is hard scoping that lane, you virtually guarantee you won't get domed by jumping or sliding through like you're seeing on screen. Let's look at an example where doing one is better than the other, and vice versa. Let's say you're here on last exit, just outside a cafe and above the escalators. Let's say your buddy needs help in the tunnels. You want to get there as fast as possible, but suspect there's a sniper hard scoping from the rocks, like this. Jumping towards the cafe is a bad play because you're going to hang for too long in the open. Also, the jump won't end before the next piece of cover, making you vulnerable for longer than what's necessary. So sliding from cover to cover makes more sense because it avoids this from happening. Continuing with this example, you have to pass an open door. This is what it looks like when a player slides through. The body is compressed and changes where your head is, which definitely makes you harder to hit, but this can be improved on. Look how much room there is between the ceiling and the top of the door. It's small, but it's a valuable piece of cover because it can be used to protect your head. So jumping through this opening is a safer play, as you can see here. Every door and every opening on every map is an opportunity to save yourself from taking damage, or at least reduce the chance of that happening. I obviously won't cover every example for purposes of time, but the examples I showed can be applied to pretty much every area in Destiny. I also know the clips in this video are on a Hunter, and more specifically a Night Stalker. That's because it's the only subclass I play, but that doesn't take anything away from the message I'm trying to give you guys. You can do everything in this video on a Titan and a Warlock too. Pow Pow inadvertently taught me these lessons on his Warlock. It's also applicable if you're not shotgunning. Of course a shotgunner is going to get the most out of this because the tips are best used in close quarters, but it can help with your primary out too. I know a lot of snipers run hand cannons as their primary, including myself when I snipe. Using your vertical space can be a good shotgun counter if you're paying attention to your radar and anticipating where your enemy is approaching you from. If you can get 2 body shots off from above your opponent, you can get a kill by following with a melee, as you're seeing here. It's obviously a lot less practical than if you have a shotgun, but if you're in a bad position with a sniper equipped, it might be your best chance. Icarus is a very useful perk for this, and one of the reasons I run it on my IS Luna, because it helps me get away with clips like this one. Further, in the next patch, Bungie is increasing the aerial accuracy of all primaries. I'm only pushing this on you guys so hard because it's honestly an easy way to become a better player, and I genuinely want that for you guys. So give it a try for yourself. Just to summarize this video, the number one takeaway is that unpredictable movement both in and out of engagements will increase your kills and decrease your deaths. This is mostly accomplished by utilizing your vertical space through sliding and jumping, regardless of whether or not you're the aggressor. Spend some time focusing on movement. Make a conscious effort to choose when a slide is appropriate and when a jump is appropriate. After some practice, you'll be doing it automatically and you'll notice an improvement in your gameplay. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, you'll probably enjoy some of my other stuff, so definitely check out the link to my channel in the description. Make sure you tap that like button, and if you have any questions, I'll get back to as many people as I can. I'll see you guys in the comments.